Наша славна Україна зажурилася, а ми тую червону калину піднімемо, а ми нашу славну Україну, гей, гей, розвеселимо. Ой, у лузі червона калина.
Hello, Calvary Chapel, Medford.
Hello.
Coming from Kyiv. You can hear in the background the bells going. There's an Orthodox church across the street behind us. And today's Independence Day in Ukraine, a big holiday. There's a lot of people walking around the streets wearing vyshyvankas. And usually on this day, the Russians attack harder. Typically on big holidays, they like to do that. I actually read recently that it's easier for them now to, or cheaper, to produce the Shahed drones, because they produce them, they got the plans from Iran and now they produce them in Russia. So it costs about $70,000 per Shahed instead of previously $200,000. So we'll continue to pray for an end to the war, for wisdom for the world leaders, and for God to steer their hearts in the direction to eliminate all the death and suffering that this war is causing. So please pray with us for that. And we apologize we didn't send the video earlier. In June you had the Missions Day, I believe. I just didn't see the email. It's been, well, ever since the war we've had to move a number of times. Then we moved to Kyiv, kind of got settled, but we hadn't moved everything because we weren't sure how long we'd be here. And then the flat we were at had major power issues. So we had to move, and I had to go to Western Ukraine and move more stuff and take care of all that. So it's, you know, this year's presented its own set of challenges. There's two churches here. One that we're members at, which is a sister church of the church we went to for many years in Odessa, where we did English clubs and other camps and outreaches. So I've been preaching at those two churches. The plan is for ministry, additional ministry to that. Well, I've begun to do some online stuff again with the podcast I had started before the full-scale invasion. I kind of picked that up again. It's not on a regular schedule. It's just every so often as I get opportunity to interview somebody on various topics. And I recently did one on forgiveness, and we're going to continue with more interviews on that topic because I did a lot of research on this topic on forgiveness, conflict resolution, and reconciliation. Lera's continuing to work in humanitarian aid, and also Lera continues doing interpretation often when I preach, so that's ministry for her. I'm going to focus harder after I return from the States. I'll be there for just a couple weeks in September because I need to renew my Oregon driver's license before it permanently expires. And I will be focusing more on learning Ukrainian. I'm going to start back up an English club in Ukraine, and we're planning a big Christmas concert on the streets of Kyiv. So I will try to raise a little bit of money for that so we can do advertising and hand out flyers, and we want to give out hot drinks and maybe have a photo booth just so that people can mingle, hang out, we can talk with them and invite them to church and invite them to English club. So after I return in September, we'll get the English club going and all the planning for the Christmas concert with some different band members from our church. And then I'm also, I started this video project. It's like a digital gospel tract with, now I can use these AI tools to do some cool voiceover stuff with it. And I had hired an illustrator to make these animated illustrations for it. And after the full-scale invasion, I never finished this project. So I'm going to wrap this up and have it ready to hand out to people at the Christmas concert. So have basically a QR code you can scan and then watch the gospel there in the Ukrainian language. So I'm excited about finishing that project. And then I want to do more online stuff. I made Luna, excuse us, Luna, she saw another Jack Russell. They get her hyped up. So I want to do audiobooks with various voices and even sound effects, and go through the whole Bible is actually my plan to do my first project I'll probably do like a few chapters of Genesis and a few chapters of John, and then start a Kickstarter where we can raise more money to focus hard on doing the whole Bible in this format. I think it's going to be the stuff you can do with AI voice tools now, and even imagery. It's pretty amazing. So I can take my experience with editing, not just video editing, but image editing and creation, and use that for the kingdom of God in this way. So that's essentially our plan. We can't say for sure if we'll live in Kyiv indefinitely, but for this season in our life, we're here now, and just want to be used by the Lord to build His kingdom, to storm the gates of hell, and break down the gates. Yeah.
And now we're at home, right? You can
Home.
see, well,
Home is
on our balcony.
where your heart is. So came to mind what I should probably share, and that's like how I think God is using us here. There's a lot of division in the world today, especially the past 5 years or so, and even in the church, and then it is further exacerbated in Ukraine with whether or not you flee the country or you decide to stay, and whether you're hiding from the army or joining the army. And so Ukrainians have division over these things. And then there's some Ukrainians who have to stay, others have chosen to stay, and we don't have to stay, but we've chosen to stay, while other missionaries have fled the country, and even Ukrainians. And we're not necessarily doing that to like earn points with anybody or prove anything. It's just what we believe God wanted us to do, what seemed right for us, and God is able to use that for the people that are here that need people to encourage them and minister to them, model the faith and be an example. And I think God has used us in many ways in people's lives. Like, for example, I preached recently on Psalm 23, and I was explaining in lunch after church how if you can't learn to be content here in wartime, if you go to another country, you're not going to be content there either, because you're bringing yourself with you. And this one girl was saying that she didn't like that. Not that she necessarily disagreed, but there is this peace God can give you, you know, through His Word, through the promises of His Word, through who He is, through the Psalms, you know, and so we're able to like plant seeds in people's lives. While there's a long history of Christian heritage here, in many ways, the examples of, like, I would say, like a strong sub-Christian culture that's actually healthy is really lacking, and there's not very many good examples of what it looks like. So I'm not saying like I'm some super saint or some prime example, but there are some gaps here. I believe God uses us to fill in, or just to speak in to people's lives in these specific areas where I feel like there's a huge need here. So yeah, so we're thankful for that, and just working on growing in contentment and growing in maturity in our faith, for God to use us in individuals' lives like this. So thank you so much for your prayers and for your friendship. Come and visit us.
And just the final thing we wanted to say, that we are very thankful for your faithful prayers. It's very encouraging to know that Church in Medford always remembers about us, always prays for us. We truly need it, especially now as living in the country where there is war, active war. And we also want to be faithful to be praying for you, because we know that the warfare is happening everywhere, all around the world, and the church, all churches are under attack. So today our prayer goes for you to be strong, to be witness of God to those around you. Thank you again.
Червона калина похилилася, чого ж наша славна Україна зажурилася, а ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну зажурилася. Чогось наша славна Україна зажурилася, а ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо.
This is a military guy soldier, and he was called Stitch. So that's remembrance of him.